as I twist and turn my way through the Rockies here, or I don't know if they're mountains anyway, snow-capped mountains. Going down the hill, snow-capped mountains ahead, look-off points, rivers, all kinds of beautiful views, vistas. As I make sure I navigate these turns, but I really had nothing else to do at this moment. Well, there's a beautiful view of a river ahead there too. I'm going to show you that. Right there. Nice. So as I twist and turn my way through here, watching these beautiful views, I had a thought of something to share on. The thought has to do with, you can do it. You can do it. So it's in reference to relating it back to myself all the time. I just realized at a certain point in my life that whenever I'm talking about anybody else, I'm really just talking about myself. That's the only vantage point that I speak from, right? So I can do it, okay? So, and then of course the skeptical view is going to say, well, you can't do everything, Steve. You can't do everything. Yes. And I'd say, well, yeah. So what? What's your point? My point being that, as I see it, there's controllables and uncontrollables in life, right? That sky is blue right now. At least that's the perception I have. There's a mountain off to my left, there's a river to my right, and my body is 5 foot 10 inches tall or whatever. These are things that, could I do something about them? Maybe. I could get a leg extension operation, I suppose, but why? In this moment, that's what it is. So, my point is, so what? Forget about that stuff, accept it. I'm going to talk about things that are controllable. I could, at this moment, take my foot off the accelerator, put it on the brake, and stop. I could do that. That's a controllable. I can keep driving. I can talk. I can turn this video machine off. All those things are what I can do. So I'm going to focus on those. And the can do it, I think what that boils down to is what we really want. People would say, okay, Steve, well, I want to be with that person, but she or he doesn't want to be with me. Is that true, though? Is that true? A good book, Loving What Is, Byron Katie, she helps people go through the questioning. Is that true? Is that true? Is that true? What I have noticed, and just anecdotally, maybe you experience something different, but just one man's opinion here, one man's experience, rather. What I have noticed is that what I want isn't really what it appears to be. If I was to say, I want that person, I want that lady over there, I want to be with that lady, or I want to be with my wife, or whatever it is. Well, in asking the question, really that's just a representation of what we want. It's what we think we want. We're just seeing the surface of what we want. What we really want is we want some sort of equality. And especially when it comes to somebody who we don't really know, we're just, isn't that guy good looking? Isn't that girl good looking? Great personality, whatever. Wouldn't that be great to have a relationship? Well, the reality is we don't know other people. We don't know what we're talking about a lot of times. We think that's what we want. But deep down inside, we want the quality that we somehow get the sense that might bring. The happiness, the contentedness, and all that sort of thing. That is what I'm talking about. We can do it. You can do it. I can do it. And it doesn't have to do with that other person and so on. As Lang likes to say, or Eckhart Tolle, one of those guys, happiness is an inside job. It's an inside job. It's inside us. It's just that we get the sense that, okay, we create a quick formula in our minds, right? That me plus all this equals what I want. We don't think of that consciously, but that's what's actually happening. Me plus, me plus all these titles, me plus this diploma, me plus this money, me plus this job, me plus this car, me plus a penis extension, me plus this girl, this guy, whatever, is going to make me into something that I'm going to have a better quality of life. And it might be true, I don't know. But the point being that isn't what we want. We want it because we think that it's part of the equation for what we want, to equal out to what we want. And I would say there's more than one way to arrive at a certain answer, right? number 33. We can arrive at that by adding 30 plus 3, 3 11s, 33 ones, all these sort of things. We can add them up and we get there. So and a lot of times what I've noticed, it's a whole hell of a lot less that is required to get what is really wanted. So the I can, I think it's important for us to ask the question, keep asking the question, what it is that we want, realizing that we have abilities, we have controllables. There's what appears to be uncontrollables, but that's kind of like the stuff that we got to work with, right? I mean, the ground is there. Not much I can do about the ground in the moment. So it's kind of like an uncontrollable. But the controllable is that I could walk or I could drive. So if it wasn't for the uncontrollable, I couldn't do the controllable. So it's kind of like all of the uncontrollables are out there. That's kind of like our canvas that we can paint upon, right? That we can make our mark, if you will, on the uncontrollable through our controllables. And as a result, we can make a difference in our lives. And a lot of times it's just not what we think it is. And sometimes it's a lot less than we think it is. So I think that's really core to what, I mean, Coffee Chat is about sharing ideas on improving the quality of our life experience. If there's one idea that I want to keep sharing over and over and over and over and over again, is that we can make a difference in our lives. We can improve the quality of our life experiences. And we can accept what appears to be uncontrollable and still be able to make a difference in our lives. And life just becomes so much sweeter when we begin to accept stuff. We begin to introspect a little bit and realize the great power that we have that's infused through us, this amazing creativity, the amazing ability, the very fact that we have the ability to feel quality, the very fact that we have the ability to be happy, even in certain moments, to feel snippets of love, to feel contentment, to feel a little bit of courageousness once in a while. The fact that we have experienced those is evidence that we can, right? And it's almost like an attitude. It's a choice, right? It's a choice to make this life worthwhile. Make it worthwhile. I mean, even if we can't see purpose in it, let's make it purposeful. Let's make a difference. Let's live as much as we can. I was listening to Eckhart Tolle a while back, and he's got a lot of great stuff to say too, He talks about every different religion throughout history had a word for sin, I was even listening to some stuff on Scientology. Is just over the top. The only reason it sounds over the top is because I'm not used to it, right? But if I'd never heard of Christianity and, heard a priest talking about, eat my body and drink my blood and so on an altar, I'd be like horrified, right? That's what goes on in every mass. But so from whatever position we're standing at, the other guys looks weird, right? But anyways, Christianity talks about sin, and the Scientology uses the term, or I guess the opposite of sin is kind of like redemption. And in Scientology, it's getting clear, They got to go through this whole, but they got to pay for it big time. The Catholics at least don't have to pay for it. At least, well, don't have to. It's voluntary collection plate. But anyways, or Christians. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So Eckhart Tolle was talking about how Christianity, his perception or his understanding of the concept of sin, is in its origin, and this is not his concept, this is the origin of the word, is missing the mark, right? Missing the mark. And what's the mark? Well, his idea of it is living, living to the best that we can live, living truthfully, living honestly, living healthfully, living with the idea of I can. We can. We're given these great opportunities, these abilities of controllables, to squander our ability upon those controllable canvases, I think is a real shame. And that is missing the mark of being able to live a quality-filled life, meaningful life, so we can make the meaning of it. As I'm going to turn this off now because I'm heading through a town and I probably got to pay attention here. All right, nice chatting again. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.